right. Give me a beat. Ooh, this one cooking. All right. Rico and Hook.
I'm about to cook.
Open up a book.
You know where to look.
Gonna have you shook.
Do not be mistook.
Read it in a nook.
She ruined it.
Oh my God.
She ruined it. What's a nook?
We're about a tenth of the way through the current MLB season, and the amount of news from around the diamond has been far from scarce. So to start off, Judge is back from the IL, played in his first game Wednesday, got a couple of hits. How do you guys feel?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good thing that he's back, but I think the injuries are now going to just linger throughout this whole entire season. It seems like that's an issue throughout his career. Once he gets injured early on, that injury just lingers throughout the whole year, and you just hope if the Yankees even get into the playoffs, and they're fifth in the division right now.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, they've definitely struggled with the injuries. With players like Severino, Rodon, now Judge, Stanton, my boy Darth Bader recently came back, which we'll talk about him later. But overall, just injuries have been, haunting this Yankees team. But with their captain, Aaron Judge, back, he not only brings a lot of skill to the field, but also a big energy to the clubhouse. And I think that's what's going to be most important about this team going forward.
Totally agree. And speaking of being fifth in their division, we saw the Orioles and the Rays play an intense series. I mean, their division is probably one of the best in baseball right now. The Yankees are kind of falling short. What do you guys think of the Orioles race?
I mean,
being in the top?
I think the Orioles, being how young they are, that they should be at the top of the division right now. But even there was a recent article how they compared like the whole AL East to the whole AL Central, and the Yankees being last in their division is still better than every single team in the AL Central. It's just the best division in baseball, and I mean you can be way above 500 and still be last, just like the Yankees. So it's just gonna be a rough division throughout the whole year.
I mean, yeah, they're competitive over there in the East, but I just love what the Orioles have been doing with such a young team. I mean, you see guys like teams, like the Guardians over in the AL Central, who also have a great young core, and it's really what shows a rise in great young players compared to the veterans that were controlling the game years ago. Now it's all about the rookies, all about the second-year guys that have come up, and now they're trying to prove themselves, and they're doing a great job of it.
Yeah, speaking of the AL Central, the Brewers, Mookie Betts won't stay in a haunted hotel. What's that about, Jason?
So the Dodgers are at the Brewers in Milwaukee for a series, and Mookie Betts. Let's move on to Harrison Bader returning for the New York Yankees. He's done a great job batting over 500. Great amount of RBIs. He already has a walk-off and a few other clutch hits. How do you guys feel about Darth Bader making his return to the evil empire?
What's his name?
Darth Bader.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, Bader obviously going to be their everyday center fielder from here on out. And it's just the injuries that have been plaguing Yankees the whole entire year, and that I think is the main reason for them being last place in the division. But Bader's just an all-around player. I mean, he can bat leadoff, he can bat eighth, fifth, wherever you want him to. And then in center field, he's just a solid piece all-around, gold glove center fielder. And that's what the Yankees needed to come back, and they just need to go on a winning streak. That's all they need to do to get back into the division.
He's so clutch, and I think having him there hopefully will boot Aaron Hicks out of there. Aaron Hicks needs to go, and I think that Bader being there, that can definitely help them eliminate Aaron Hicks.
So now moving from present day into the past, a decade ago was the 2013 MLB draft. Some huge names, a couple of MVPs in that draft, Big Aaron Judge, Bryce Harper, Chris Bryant, and Cody Bellinger, all former MVPs. How do you guys feel about how some players have come out of, this MLB draft 10 years ago?
Yeah, I mean, that was probably one of the best MLB drafts ever, especially in the recent years and after the 2000s. And you don't see, like you said, MVP caliber players, not just all-star, but MVPs. And a lot of those guys were late-round picks. They weren't like the number one overall pick, first-round picks. I mean, they were going late 15th, 16th, 17th round. Aaron Judge was not even near a top pick, obviously, besides Bryce Harper being like the cover athlete that year. But yeah, overall, I think that was probably the best draft in at least the last 25 years.
I would say I'm most impressed with Bellinger. I mean, he was so great his rookie year and the couple years after with the Dodgers, and then he really fell off hard the last couple years. So bad, but I think being in Chicago and the Cubs in a young environment, we always knew he was good friends with Dansby Swanson. I think that definitely helped him out a lot, and we've seen he's been putting up what was the thing? video game numbers. He's been putting up video game numbers, and I think that.
It's good that you remembered video game numbers.
Thank you.
It's great.
I'm very impressed with him. I mean, Nestor, Aaron Judge, like we said, this was probably one of the best drafts in a long time, and I'm impressed too. They're still all playing at the level that they started at, maybe even better, especially Bryce Harper.
All amazing quality athletes, but that will do it for our segment on the MLB. Don't go anywhere. The James family is all over the news. The Eastern Conference stays as competitive as ever, and my Duke Blue Devils have a promising future ahead of them in the upcoming 2023-2024 season. This and more in our basketball segment when we come back. So to wrap up the show, we have my field of expertise, or should I say court of expertise.
No.
My fault.
No thanks.
This is our segment on the world of basketball, and our first topic of discussion, the New York Knicks. My New York Knicks beat the Heat in Game 5, so now they're down 3-2.
No one cares.
3-1. Do either of you have faith
No.
in this Knicks team? I know I do.
I do
What do you
too.
guys think?
I think that winning a big game like that and, getting down 3-1 and then losing that next game, that's just not possible. So I think that keeping them in there is keeping them alive, is going to motivate them to want to keep going. And I think they can take another win. Totally.
Yeah, I mean, we all know the Knicks aren't that good, and they're probably going to blow this lead anyway. But I hope you stay up really late and lose some sleep over them.
What's your favorite basketball team?
Yeah, I don't watch basketball.
None. So you don't really know what you're talking about here.
Okay.
But now somebody that knows what she's talking about on this next topic is Marisa, her cousin of supposedly Giannis Antetokounmpo could be out of Milwaukee in the next year or two. Where do you see him going? Do you see this as a likely story?
I can't speak about this topic because I know the inside information, being he's my cousin, but let's just say it looks good for New York. Definitely.
I mean, I hope he goes to New York because that'd be pretty cool.
He wants to be close to his family,
You're not his family. So next up, Bronny James, speaking of family, committed to USC, Southern California. I messed this one up in rehearsals. How do you guys feel about this? He's sticking close to his dad in Los Angeles. Do you think he can be a one-and-done player, or will LeBron have to wait an extra year to play with his son and retire?
I think he's going to have to wait next year. I don't think Bronny is not even close to being the best guy in the draft. And him to even end up on the Lakers or a team that LeBron would consider going to. I know he said that he'll go anywhere to be on the same team, but that's probably not true. Let's be honest. But, I mean, I hope he does come out. It would be cool to see them play together for 1 year. But by then, LeBron's going to be like 42 or something like that. So, I mean, you always hope for something like a story like that to come together.
I think that it was really nice of, Bronny to decide to go to USC and stay close to his dad. But I think it was more of a publicity stunt almost. You see them out together everywhere. They're at all the games, just looking at each other. They're all on social media and everything. So, I mean, it makes sense for the family, but I'm thinking it was definitely more for the people.
Yeah, I mean, like you guys both said, it's important that he stays close to his family. And I personally believe that he's not going to be a one-and-done player. They already have the number one point guard in the class, not named Bronny James, committed to the school. They have another point guard in Boogie Ellis, a fifth-year senior on the team. So I just don't see him being the number one guy, being that starting point guard for the team. But if he comes out after his sophomore year, I can see him being a fully developed player. And so that will do it for this week's episode. Sorry, guys. Getting a phone call. Hello? Really?
What was happening?
What? You will not be disappointed, sir. I just got a job offer at the Final Whistle. I start next week.
So you're just leaving?
How can you do this to us?
Because they're paying me. Come on, guys. It's been a good run. Wonderful life.
He's not serious, is he?
I
He has
really
to come
hope he's
back,
not.
right?
I can't get
Last week, Kyle quit the band. Misunderstanding, didn't understand. It doesn't matter, now we're back together again. La 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 la.